about that? How about that? Everything we talk about, ill intent, violence, physicality, execution, the will to win. Just win, baby.
You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Straight Outta Nation. This is Ralf in the building. And after we just do an amazing David episode with Merv, Raiders Fan Radio. And right now we have another special guest because we're going to talk about from Raiders defense to the cultural impact and something more. So don't forget to subscribe to Rafael Chasing as known as El Capitán Rafucho on YouTube. Also, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and this special guest on this episode of Straight Outta Nation. And I got to tell you for this one, thanks for the reception, the communication, and of course, thanks for bringing part of the Straight Outta Nation during the first episode. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you a great die-hard fan for the Raiders, because this one has no filter at all, because we're going to talk about from defense to die-hard experience right now. So ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you the one and only Raider Demon King. So how's it going, Raider Demon King? Welcome to Straight Outta Nation. So how you feel about it?
How you doing, Ralph? Thank you. I appreciate the invite. I'm doing great. Just ready for Raider football, man. I just wanted to start already. I'm already shaky. Just wait, and I'm very excited about this season with AP as our head coach. I think we're gonna shock some people. Not us, of course. We're not going to shock the Raider Nation, but we are going to shock some of those so-called experts out there.
Oh, yes. And talking about that, because right now we have the first topic right now. So here it comes right now. Raiders defense and offensive line coming at hot this season. Now, after that, I just told about for like a couple of months, because the Raiders defense and offensive line is getting really loaded right now. Because if you see athletes like Devontae Adams, Max Crosby, also Robert Spillane, the pick sets, Jack Jones. I mean, can you imagine this? I mean, Raiders defense has fully loaded for this season. And I think there's a lot of competition buffering other teams, which is Kansas City Chiefs, Denver Broncos, Los Angeles Chargers. I mean, the stay right now, because they has a lot of chance to be like the best one in the league for this season. And I know that after we just saw for the draft, we just draft Jackson Powers Johnson, which is from a great defense from Ohio, from Oregon State. Like I said it. Also, we just got
just
the tight end Brock Powers.
Oregon University for Jackson
Yep.
Powers Johnson.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But I guarantee that the defense, it could make like very solid, because remember about for the last year, after the whole situation of Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler, I mean, we have a great faith and opportunity to make it to the top 10 defense. So how you feel about those pieces? And I was watching like a little bit of receiver along with Devontae Adams, and we just saw like the great combination between Max Crosby and Devontae Adams. So how's it feel about to be very loaded at this defense and offense lines, which is very confident for this season? And of course, the combination along with Devontae Adams and Max Crosby.
Yes, Ralph, our defensive line got better. Tyree Wilson, who was coming into his own last year, but remember, he didn't have a full OTA. He didn't have a full mini camp because he had the foot injury. He's coming into the season, balls to the wall, gas, no break. And if you see pictures of him, he is massive this year. He is so big. And we added Christian Wilkins from the Miami Dolphins, who is a dominant defensive tackle. He's just like Max. He's got a motor that can't be stopped, and all he does is talk smack too, but he backs it up as well. We brought back John Jenkins and, Adam Butler, they were awesome pieces for us last year, and they're going to be just as good. Malcolm Kuntz coming into the contract year. He had 8 sacks last year. If he had less, you can correct me, but he's coming in that contract year. He's going to be balls to the wall as well. Janarius Robinson, who we picked up from Atlanta, was a good player. He's had a little trouble with outside of football, but if we keep him, I think he's going to do well as well. He's going to play well for us there. Robert Spillane at linebacker. Divine Diablo coming into a contract year as well. Divine's got to pick it up a little bit because I think he's going to play well this year. Luke Masterson coming. We had him playing there because he came off the bench. He was an undrafted free agent. The kid's got a lot of heart, and he can play. Great special teams player. We bring him on the field. He's going to be fine. Amari Burney, another linebacker that's lightning fast. He can go sideline to sideline. And I think if he gets his time to play, if he gets his burn, I think he's going to help out that linebacking crew as well. Now, with our draft picks, Tommy Eichenberg from The Ohio State. Now, I'm a Notre Dame fan. I hate Ohio State. So I actually hated Tommy Eichenberg till he became a Raider, and now I actually like him because he's a Raider. But they were talking about him being the green dot because the kid's very, very smart. He can cover the pass. He can stop the run. He's going to be very, very, very good for us, and I'm glad we got him in the rounds that we did. Our offensive line, like you said, Jackson Powers Johnson. The kid's a second coming of Richie Incognito. He's a bad, bad man. The kid played center at Oregon, was one of the best offensive linemen in the country, and he just wants to hurt people. He wants to beat everybody up, just like Richie did, and everybody in the nation loved Richie Incognito. Now, Jackson Powers Johnson's going to start at guard, and I like that because we still have Andre James at center, who doesn't play bad. He got beat by a couple people. And who did he get beat by the most? Chris Jones, who's one of the best defensive tackles in the league. But he held his own against everybody else. And with him and it's Jackson Powers Johnson on that one side, Thayer Mumford is going to be the right tackle. He's coming into his own as well. He's naturally a left tackle, but we got Colton over there. And if Colton goes down by some chance, we don't want that. But if he does, we can slide Thayer Mumford over on that side, and he would do just as fine over there on the left side as well. And like you're talking about Jones, who they call Jack Boy. Jack is a ball hawk. He had some trouble, but look who he's with. He's back with his coach that was at Arizona State, AP. And Jacorian Bennett, I think, is going to take a big, big step this year. We still got Brandon Faison. I don't mind him, but, he's getting we got guys there that can play. I think that we're going to go after a corner after minicamp because most of the veterans out there, they don't want to go to minicamp. I like Stephon Gilmore. I did like Xavier Howard, but he's got a little bit of trouble with the law, and what he went out with him, I don't think he fit the Raider culture now. But Stephon
Mhm.
Gilmore would fit, and it would make us a top 2 defense. I think we're going to be a top 5 defense, hands down. Max, I think Max is going to be Defensive Player of the Year. I think he's going to at least get 18 to 20 sacks this year, honestly, because we got Christian Wilkins, like I said, in the middle. You got to double
Exactly.
team.
I mean, exactly. I mean, despite for that, oh, sorry about that. Because despite for that, I mean, the only thing that I was like getting really enough of this, I mean, the whole defense is getting really locked up. I mean, the combination between Max Crosby, Malcolm Coombs, Tyree Wilson, also Robert Spillane, because if you're gonna unite those pieces, I mean, they're just really locked up. I mean, this defensive line end, I mean, this unit is top heavy. Is the heaviest one. We know that Crosby is a light. Coons has a great chance to be like a star. And Winston has a big potential going up for the second season. Because the first season, that was just like really nervous. Because, for example, there is Devon Diablo, which is the first season is getting like pretty nervous, but it doesn't like going after it for the first season. It gives like great experience, but also a lot of learning. But also Robinson has a strong chance to stick around again in Agoa, which is like an
And
international
remember,
season.
Divine Diablo was a safety in college. They turned him into a linebacker, so he's still learning how to
Yeah,
play the game, at that position.
yeah, I really got that. But the only point because this top tier is very heavier because in this program it's just like an introductory ticket. I mean, they gotta score the waiver after the fill off of the position if no young players stand up. I mean, there's like another defensive tackles who give like another lock. Christian Wilkins, John Jenkins, Adam Butler. I mean, Wilkins is just like the headliner, and Jenkins and Butler, they're just like a solid veteran pieces. I mean, the thing they're gonna watch during the training camp and the preseason will be like the breakout plays because there's like a solid competition. It could be like really intense with all the 4 players having a solid chance for like 2 spots, but not guarantee of anything. I mean,
And we
Matthew
still have,
Butler, Silvera.
Nate Jade Silvera. We got Byron Young, who we drafted him in the 3rd round, and we haven't even seen him really do anything. Matthew
Oh,
Butler
yes.
as well. You know what I mean? I mean, we drafted the wrong Byron Young. The one that's really good is with the Rams, I think, and he made the Pro Bowl. He was very, very good. But I'm hoping Byron Young takes a step forward as well, or he's going to be on his way out.
I mean, I guarantee. Also, I just got for another comments right now, so let's check them out right now. Salute to Daniel Barry is in the building. Also on face. Salute to my brother Alpha Cassi Raider. They say Oregon Dogs, Rafa, no Oregon State. Okay, so my bad. So they say on face, they say salute Alpha Cassi. On face, they say Tommy was a killer because he's just like a great beast. Also, salute to Protect the Shield. How's it going? Protect the Shield. Also, I just watching your fan talk Friday because they just brought like everything about it. All right, so there's like an on face right now. So let's just have it up for one question to say your take on Tyree Wilson. So there's like a lot of getting involved for the Tyree Wilson. I mean, we just know that he just drafted in 2023, but let's just see for the first year because Tyree Wilson. I mean, he looks like well a little nervous because right now it seems that well it kind of like not getting involved right now, but they're just trying like this one. But some people they say it's just like a boss and everything, but they're just trying to get fit on him because for all the defense, it gets like really flashes because if they can shake off the rookie year, I mean, he can really improve off of the 10% this season. I mean, he got a gain for about like 30 pounds. He could be like Chris Jones. But
He
technically,
didn't have
he
a full minicamp. He was hurt his rookie year. He didn't have a full minicamp. Now he's got a full minicamp. I think Tyree Wilson is going to step up big. He's not a bust. Why? Because 1 year he was hurt all year. So all of a sudden, that's the problem with a lot of Raider Nation, a lot of the fans. They think because he's not Max Crosby his first year, or like with Aiden, he's not Patrick Mahomes, they're busts. Not a bust. Give it time. You need time. Usually 3 years in. 3 years. We'll see what he can do. This year, he's going to step up, and people are going to like what they see.
I mean,
I think
because there's like another person's. But the point about for the Beach one, because some persons, they just really notice about it wasn't like the rookie nerves. I mean, he just missed like the off season and most of the preseason. They just wanted to recover after the surgery. I mean, casually, because asking like to put on 30 pounds is very insane, because most guys can add like 30 pounds without losing speed, quickness, and endurance. I mean, his foot injury will not make allowed to do like they had like a lot of weight to the pivot, the pressure point is getting crazy. I mean, turning like with a full-time defensive tackle, it's not a great move, but it should be like modeled after the Nico Autry to be that guy who can play both inside and outside to move around a lot. Because if they have like the same height and the same body, this is going to need to gain about for like 10 pounds to get 285. I mean, they're just kind of like very good, because, I mean, Danico was very good for that regime, but actually they just wait like the talents and then decided not to resign. I mean, also they have a like strict defensive tackle. I know he's getting like some inside pass rushes. I mean, there's like an unserious delusional, but let's be fair about it, because I think for the second season, I mean, they're probably gonna cook something, but it's not gonna be like another flop, because a lot of people are gonna say, "Oh, Tyree Wilson is the boss," but I can see like very confident. But I have a feeling that he's gonna be like a great impact and surprise the people all the way for the Coons did that he was given like the starting position.
Yeah, and here, what Patrick Graham's defense is, he changes every game. It's never the same defense. And like Tyree Wilson played defensive end in college because he was so big, so long, lanky. Pause. But he had really long arms. His wingspan is over 7 feet. It's like 8 feet. It's ridiculous how big he is. And he put on all this muscle. Yes, they could run that NASCAR package that the Giants used to run with 4 defensive ends on the defensive line. And they beat a lot of teams like that. And what we were saying about the linebackers, but when you got a great pass rush, it helps your linebacker and your defensive backs tremendously, because they don't have to cover for 4 or 5 seconds. 2 seconds, quarterback's got to have the ball out of his hand, because Max is going to do his thing. Kuntz is going to do his thing. Tyree, when he's in there. Christian Wilkins in the middle is going to push the pile a lot, and he's going to get double-teamed a lot. He didn't have a lot of sacks, but he's going to get double-teamed, and Max is going to get one-on-one. They can't put a tight end on him. No tight end in the league is going to block Max Crosby. That's ridiculous. That's just stupid. And, yeah, I think we're going to be fine on defense. Defensive backs. I wanted to talk about our safety room. Now, we got Marcus Epps and Trayvon Merritt. Trayvon played well last year, coming into a contract year as well. I met Trey Taylor, who we drafted out of Air Force, with the Jim Thorpe Award winner, which means the best defensive back in college football. He played at Air Force. He got drafted in the 7th round because he played at Air Force. But when you watch the tape on him, you can see what he can do. It doesn't matter about competition. He played to his competition. He played above it. That's why he won that award. And we have another kid that not many people talk about. Trey told me this. Jaden Grant from Oregon State, safety. The kid, he said this kid is a baller. He's very smart, very intelligent, can read plays well, just like Trey. I think we got safeties of the future there. Also with Chris Smith, who we drafted out of Georgia, was a captain on that Georgia team that won the national championship. Now, to be a captain on that team with all those players, you have to be something. So we have a really good safety room, I think. We got some young pups in there that are going to show out in preseason, and they're going to shock a lot of people. Now, the kids we drafted, the corners, MJ Devonshire, I think he's going to be a good special teamer to start. I think DeCamarion Robinson, I think he's going to show out. I think he's going to get his shot to play as well because he's so tall and he's fast. I think he might be 6'2", but he's got really big strides. Like he can run after a ball. If he's getting beat, he can catch up with that because he's super fast, lightning fast. And of course, we got Nate Hobbs. Nate Hobbs stays healthy, he could easily become an all-pro slot corner. Easily become that because he's that good.
I mean, I loved it. I love it. And when you're talking about for like this position, I mean, there is like another comments right now, so I'm gonna check it out right now because I know that it say like the difference between Jalen Carter and Tyree, his weight and experience and tackle. Also on face say Wilkins better show Tyree how to be a dog in the middle. And I agree with that. I mean, that could be happening like very something to do about for this food. I mean, getting better and healing tall. I mean, I'm not saying he was truly like very made it to be on the side, but I'm really sure at that point, I mean, he improved that position, but also he can be like feeling a lot better at that point. But sheesh. I mean, I like what I just saw with Tyree once McDonald's. I mean, wasn't very candid. He was more for the inside. I mean, that kid has a lot of great promise. And I will tell you for this one. I mean, he came like out of nowhere close to Chris Jones to level anything soon. But I just watched it between of the Hard Knocks. And boy, we just have like a feeling that how the New York Giants couldn't get like Christian Wilkins. But we just got lucky about it. I mean, Christian Wilkins is just like a monster. And that's one of those pieces that we just missed it. I mean, Christian Wilkins, it would be like the perfect addition to get the defense rebuild and, of course, knocking it out for the competition. I mean, we're just here like the jackpot.
Yeah, absolutely. And like Tyree, like you said, I don't compare him and Jalen Carter. To me, I watch college football as well, and I assume mostly everybody does too. But Jalen Carter might be a little lazy, take plays off here and there. You know what I mean? And his attitude at Georgia was a little bit much, and everybody lost their minds when we didn't draft him. And look at the defense he's on with the Eagles. How do you know he would have did that for the Raiders? They had Pro Bowlers throughout the front of the defensive line. He had his best friend there from Georgia, had him on the line with him to keep him in line. We don't know that Jalen Carter would have did that for us. We don't know that.
Yep, I agree with that. So after we just talking about for the Tyree Wilson, the defense, so there's just like another topic that we're talking about it. And the first episode that I was talking with Merv from Raiders Fan Radio. So right now, I'm going to do for this right now. So check this out. All right, so there it is, the Raiders cultural impact. Now, I know that I just talked with Merv from Raiders Fan Radio about for the cultural impact that we just got it for the Raiders. And there's like a little point about this because we got to do like a little bit spicy. Because we're just like the billions. We're just like the misfits. I mean, we're just like the greatest fan base in the whole world. Forget about for the Dallas Cowboys because they're supposed to be like the Americans teams. They're not. I mean, the only thing the Dallas Cowboys are the Americans team because they show up more on the media. Because for us, the Raider generation, for the Raiders nation, is very obvious because we're different. I mean, during for the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and 90s, I mean, we just embrace the culture of diversity. Because if you see like a lot of Latin American rooting for the Raiders, also there's like a lot of Mexicans, El Salvadorians. Also, we just see like fans for United Kingdom, Australia, Japan, also Germany. I mean, we just embrace like a great fan culture. I mean, there's nothing can stop us. I mean, if you see like during for the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and about for the glory, about for Al Davis, 3 Super Bowls, the audacity of Charles Woodson. I mean, we just made like something is rating of the history of the NFL. We just have like a great players who made a trade blaze, and we are just like the team who create a generation that doesn't forget.
Yes. When the Raiders are good, the NFL is better. And now that AP is our coach, AP is a player's coach. He was a position coach. He loves the players more. Like Josh McDaniel, he thought he was Bill Belichick. He was nowhere near that. He failed in Denver. He failed with us. He didn't want to take no advice from anyone else. It's my way or the highway, basically what it was. He couldn't talk to players. He couldn't relate to players. And that was a problem for us. And it was like you've seen with AP. We're smoking cigars in the locker room. We're having fun. And I don't care what anybody says. Oh, you won a game and you're celebrating like Super Bowl. Celebrate every win like it's the Super Bowl. Celebrate. Enjoy it. We're not used to that. We've lost a lot. We've lost a lot. But guess what? The fan base is still there. 2-15, 15-2. We're Raider Nation. Raiders till we die. From the womb to the tomb. We don't care. We love this team every Sunday. Every Sunday, 24/7. All year round, we are Raiders. I'm a Raider. I'm a Raider all year round. Yes, I have other teams that I like in sports. The only other football team I like is college football, and that's Notre Dame. That's it. There's no second NFL team. None. There's the Raiders. Well, who's your second? I don't have a second. It's the Raiders. That's it.
Yep. Also, there's Anthony Provencio in the building. So how's it going, Anthony Provencio? And Anthony Provencio is say, I like the regular format better. Well, it kind of like it really, really better. But what I just saw about for the history of this organization for the Raiders, because even though that I'm from South America, even I know that I'm from South America, because I was born in Venezuela. Now that I live in Charlotte, North Carolina, which is like in Charlotte, I mean, the team, the Raiders, had so much culture impact about for the rock music, the hip hop music. I mean, the players, Chad Woodson, Jim Plunkett, Ken Stable. Also, there's John Maiden, Al Davis. I mean, people they never forget about for the history, because this is like the team that I really like it. Because there's one catchphrase we're talking about it to say, there's 31 teams at the NFL, but there's only one nation, and that's the Raider Nation.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's the team that we got to root it for it. I mean, during for that season, I mean, we just made history, because after Antonio Pierce, it came like the new head coach. I mean, we just brought a lot of histories, because we just won against for the New York Giants, and that's a big statement. Also, we just won for a historical moment against for Los Angeles Chargers, which, in matter of fact, because I was watching the whole interview of Davante Adams, and some kind of like at the social media of the Los Angeles Chargers, he just post like an image of Pop-Tarts mix it up with trash. That's an equal for Raiders. But I guarantee that when Davante Adams just pull like everything about for Will Smith and say, keep our name out of your mouth or we're coming at you, because Raider fans doesn't forget about the historical moment, a historical whoop pass against Los Angeles Chargers, 63-21. I mean, people never forget about that moment. And also, there's like a Christmas Day.
Davante eats them alive every time we play them. Every game he was with the Raiders, he hasn't had less than 150. I think he averaged 130, 140 yards a game. They're talking all this smack about him. That first game is going to be in. We might pull up another 60 burger on them. They might get fucking blown out again, talking all their shit. They can. It's their social media team. They fucked up. They messed up, and their team is going to pay for it. That social media team will be fired after week one, because we're coming. We're pissed with all this shit and all these so-called experts saying we're third in the division or fourth in the division. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, they're done. The Denver Broncos are done. They got Zach Wilson. Give me a break. The Chargers have no receivers. Give me a break. Their defense is 255 years old. Get the fuck out of here. And their offense is shot. They're going to be running Harbaugh's offense, so what Harbaugh does is run the ball. You got one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league, and you're going to run the ball constantly. Go ahead. Who's your running back? J.K. Dobbins with a torn ACL, and then he just coming back off Achilles surgery? Get out of here. You got to be kidding me. The only team we need to worry about is that shitty team in Missouri, and where their defense kind of took a downfall too because they lost their best corner. He's gone. He went to Tennessee. You know, Jones is still there. Fuck him. We got somebody to take care of him too. JPP or Jackson Power Johnson is going to take care of him. I ain't worried about that. Kansas City better worry about us. We ain't worried about our quarterback. Every team should worry about theirs with our defense that's coming.
I mean, I agree with that.
We're not trading Devontae. Devontae ain't going nowhere. I don't know how many times he has to say it. He's a Raider for life. He's been saying it and saying it and saying it. Everybody talking all this shit. Devontae's going to go to the Jets. Devontae's going here. Stop. Just stop it already. I know people need to get stuff out there because it's the offseason. Well, why don't you get out there? Devontae loves the Raiders and he loves AOC. Why don't we put that out there? Why don't we put out there that our defense looks like it's going to be a top 3 defense this year? And Max Crosby has got a chip on his shoulder because the dude didn't even get no votes for Defensive Player of the Year. I think he got 1 vote for first place, which is ridiculous. So everybody in the Raider Nation, hear me out. Hear me right now. We are coming. Stay on the course. AOC, he's going to be fine in this offense. Mm-hmm. And if he trips a little bit, we bring in Guard Dog. Because Guard Dog can do some things. He has. He took that shit Colts team to 1 play away from the playoffs where the guy dropped the ball. They would have won the game.
Yep. I agree with that. And when I was watching like the interview of Davante Adams and the fact that we just won against Kansas City Chiefs, which is like a perfect Christmas miracle. But I think this season is going to prove us wrong. Because somehow, some of those fans with the different teams, which is the Chiefs, the Chargers, and the Broncos, they wish like, I don't know what the heck is going on right now. But we just got the last laugh. After the whole situation we've been through about it, after the whole drama, after the whole bad situation we've been through about this, there's nothing can stop. I mean, we just got like great all-star, locking it in power, just like Max Crosby, Davante Adams, also a battle of quarterbacks, which is, in fact, is going to be in training camp, who's going to be like the starter quarterback between Gardner Minshew or Aiden O'Connell. But also, we have defense that is going at the top tier level. And we have Antonio Pierce. We just got like great leadership, great mentality, and of course, discipline. I mean, I've been seeing like at different teams who being like became on the same plane. But the Raiders, for the Raiders, they're just like discipline, respect, and of course, embrace the old football that we're just playing as much as violent, because that's what's up. That's what's up about playing violent, and boom, there you have it.
You play with violence and ill intent.
Yes, sir.
As the words of Al Davis, the quarterback must go down, and the quarterback must go down hard. Mm-hmm. We're coming. We're going to have a very good year this year. And I know there's a lot of people out there that want to be the ones, I told you so, I told you Aiden couldn't do it. But then there's the other ones that believe in Aiden O'Connell. And I believe in Aiden O'Connell. I think he's going to be fine. I think he's going to thrive in this offense. We got a running back by the name of Zeus who looks like a goddamn brick shithouse. He's a monster. And also, we got a kid we drafted by the name of Dylan Laube. And that kid, he's an Austin Eckler type. That's what he can catch. He can block. He could run when he has to. Good special teams player. I think and like Anthony said, we have everything in place. We just got to get it together on the field. On paper, we look good. We look good. But we got to put it together on the field. Coaches, players, front office, all that got to be all together. We're going to be fine. We're going to be fine.
Yes, exactly. Also, there's like another comment in the shade of Anthony Perez in the shade. The way I see it, star Aiden O'Connell. I believe that we'll be better this season if he, knock on wood, start eating snacks, eating
That
sacks in the online, doesn't get shit going, put fire, put on Minshew. Also, there's Anthony Perez say, I believe our season will rely on the offensive line. We have everything in place. Of quarterback and online is the biggest question mark. I agree with that. I agree with that because that's what we need it for. Because after we just improve it like a lot, because after we just saw for the games against Jets, against Dolphins, against Chargers, I mean, we just had like great moments, but also we just have bad moments. But
we
I
got to put
think
it all
this
together.
season,
The defense will win us some games. The
yeah,
offense can't lose us any games. We can't have stupid turnovers. The defense will take over. Keep the ball on it with us. No fumbles, no picks, and Aiden didn't really throw many picks in the second half of the year. I think he threw one. I think he might have had maybe 8 touchdowns and 1 pick in the second half of the year, I think. But I think he's going to be fine, and he will. Aiden doesn't have to be a runner. Tom Brady wasn't a runner. Peyton Manning wasn't a runner. I'm not comparing them. Just saying by their skill. All he's got to do is move in the pocket, sense it coming, get out of there, throw the ball, hit your guy, and he's
I
got 2
agree with
tight
that.
that is going to help.
Yep. And of course, for Samir White, I mean, I just know this that for the last season, I mean, Zeus, it became like they just came with a lot of flashes. But I just saw for the social media, he's getting ripped. It is gonna have training. But after the whole situation of Josh Jacobs, I mean, this is like the perfect time to see Zeus getting hit on, getting
Yes,
loaded on defense because right now the running back position is really care about for the question mark. But I guess with between for Zeus, Samir White, for what it's worth, because they have like a lot of promises. I mean, patience is a virtue. I mean, give it like another season to get what is pro right now. Then they're gonna be like a provide evaluation because I understand it about it. Because if they have like a great arm, great ability, I mean, he could be like a great starter. I mean, it's
mm-hmm.
not even like an archetype of the player because everyone is seeing like a very stronger, but he could more like a great running back type. I mean, which is like an insane improvement. I mean, asking Guerra to put like 30 pounds, but it's not gonna be like a wasted athletic kids. I mean, he really can move inside because it is incredibly value in today's NFL, which I guarantee.
Yeah. Aiden looks like he got a little bit better shape. He looked a little pudgy his first year, but I don't think he thought that he was going to play. He didn't think he was going to play that much. We put him in, and then we should have played him against Chicago. We might have won that game instead of playing Brian Hoyer. Now, granted, Brian Hoyer knows football. He just can't play it anymore. And there's nothing wrong with that, And I heard an interview about him that he likes Aiden's skill set. He thinks Aiden's very smart. He took the playbook of Josh McDaniels, which is super, super hard. This Luke Getsy playbook is easy for Aiden because he went through that stupid-ass offense that McDaniels ran and never shined away from anything. And he ran it. And then we had Bo Hardegree after we got rid of McDaniels. Basically ran kind of the same thing. And
Yep.
we looked a little bit more laid back, more, what's the word? We looked more comfortable in it, And of course, Zeus, because Josh went down, he was hurt. And, well, I don't think he was hurt. I just think he didn't want to play no more. But he's in Green Bay now, and I detest. We don't need to talk about Josh Jacobs no more. But Zeus came in and did his thing. He played well, and I hope that continues this next year, where he's our number one back.
Hey, I agree with that. I agree. And somehow, because there's like another comment right now that say AOC hacked the backup system and figured it out how to get like really snaps at backup. And also there's like a comment for Anthony Promecio. We know the defense will be good and be better with Christian Wilkins. But I guarantee that between for the new strategy, between for the new system, I mean, everything is gonna change it at all. Because after we just saw like the point of disaster, we just see like a lot of improvement. And I think the defense will be improved, will be loaded. I mean, it could be like at a top five because after the last season, we just see like a little improvement. Now it's
Mhm.
time to get a lot of more.
Yep. We had improvement last year after they were gone, after our defense played better, and they're going to play better this year. This NFL is in trouble. The Raiders are coming back, and I think we're almost there. I think this year, like me personally, I have them at 10, 11 wins. That's just me. A lot of people have them less, or some people even have them more. But I think that I think we possibly have an outside shot at making the playoffs. We can sneak in, and if we sneak in, we can cause some problems. All you have to do is get to the dance. It doesn't matter who you go home with. All you got to do is get to that dance. That's it.
Yep, I agree with that. And of course, it's been another episode of this podcast right now. Straight Outta Nation, 100% Raiders, 0% Chargers, 0% Chargers, 0% Chiefs, Broncos, only Nation, 100% extreme
Absolutely.
attitude with the Raiders. So, one last thing before we're wrapping up. So, where can we find you on the social media, and where can we find you to see like a great content right
I am
now?
on Facebook. I'm
Oh,
on Facebook. I'm on X. I'm on Instagram at Raider Demon King. Jason Dean Hunter is my Facebook. You can follow me if you want. I post motivational videos and stuff there too. Some Raider stuff, when the season comes, I post more because I go to the games. I go to a lot of the away games, and you'll see a lot of my pictures in that in my full gear as the Raider Demon King. And yeah, I've been a Raider since 1987, man. I love this team. I bleed silver and black, and when they lose, I'm bummed out till Wednesday at least.
exactly.
So Ralph, I appreciate you having me come on. I I appreciate talking Raider football with people. It's fun for me. I enjoy it. Everybody in the comments, thank you. Follow me if you'd like. And, let's just get ready for a good season, baby. Raider Nation for life.
Exactly, exactly. And thank you very much for having us on this episode of Straight Outta Nation. Because after we just do like a debut episode with Murph from Raiders Fan Radio, it became like the most viewed. So right now there's like a few
I love Murph.
episodes. And yes, we have some few episodes more to come because right now Straight Outta Nation is about to get down, is about to stay, and there's nothing can stop us. So hit the like button, subscribe to El Capitán Rafucho on YouTube, ring the bell for notifications, and follow me on different social media. Twitter at Capitán Rafucho, Instagram at El Capitán Rafucho. This is El Capitán Rafucho, wrapping off another episode of Straight Outta Nation with a special guest, Raider Demon King. Thank you very much for the comments. Thank you, Afakasi Raider, Daniel, also on Face, Anthony Provencio. So, guess what, Anthony Provencio? You became like the chat of the day. So, congratulations for Anthony Provencio because you just have more comments on our live stream. So, congratulations for Anthony Provencio. You became the chat of the week. So, thank you very much. Have a great weekend. Have a great night. And of course, like all Davis say, just win, baby. Have a great night, folks.